What's up, guys? I'm Bit2000YGO. I am your friendly neighborhood Yu-Gi-Oh! Superhero, and today, guys, we're talking art. Stick around. Alright, so today's video is one that was requested of me. Somebody wanted to know in my comment section, they mentioned to me that they wanted to know what my top 10 favorite artworks are in Yu-Gi-Oh! So today we're talking about the artwork in Yu-Gi-Oh! That I think is some of the best stuff that Konami's created over the years with all the various artworks, and let's face it, with over like 10,000 cards or however many there are in the game to pick from, I got a lot of options. So, without further ado, let's just go ahead and hop into the first one. A tie for number 10, and that is the original artwork of Dark Magician and Blue Eyes. Now you guys are going, wait, we're starting there? Yes, the reason why is both of these cards are very iconic. They are part of the original Yu-Gi-Oh! Series, and let's face it, guys, they are a large portion of my childhood, because when Yu-Gi-Oh! Came out, I was like 10, and I enjoyed the show exponentially. I mean, come on, I've been playing for that long, so, you know, it's just been a really good experience, and, like, you know, when you play Blue Eyes and Dark Magician, you get this sense of nostalgia, you know what I mean? Some part of your brain is like, you know, I'm Yugi, or I'm Kaiba, you know what I mean? Or, you know what I mean? There's just that small little part of yourself in the back of your mind that, like, you know, maybe the ones that, like, used to remember yourself as a kid doing the role play. I mean, I remember being with my buddies and we would get ridiculous. We'd be like, I summon Dark Magician. Yeah, it was bad. But that was, of course, when we were really young. Of course, like, you know, once we got to high school, we kind of were like, let's dial this down. It's just a minute. Noble Knight Artorias. Now, why do I like Noble Knight Artorias? This is the artwork for this vanilla monster that started the whole Noble Knight archetype. Simply put, I like Noble Knight Artorias because it's him pulling Excalibur from the stone, and that artwork already alone is just really cool. And then, of course, when you think about it, it's King Arthur, guys. It's the, you know, the Knights of the Round Table, you know, the idea of the Noble King, etc. I really like this whole that whole story, you know, of a hero king and all that stuff. I mean, you know, who doesn't want to, who hasn't, at least as a kid, once thought of, you know, themselves as a knight, you know, riding a horse and waving a sword in battle and, you know, wearing the suit of armor. I mean, come on, every kid's thought about that at least once. 6-strike triple impact. Now, the reason why this card in particular is another good card that I enjoy is because 6-strike triple impact has 3 Six Samurai monsters on the front of the artwork, and it's like, it looks like they're charging at you when you're looking at the artwork. And I like this idea because it's like this whole teamwork aspect of things that I thoroughly enjoy. I like the idea of, like, you know, if I couldn't take something big and scary down, well, maybe me and some buddies could do it. You know what I mean? It's kind of like the whole Avengers complex kind of thing going on there. Speaking of superhero stuff, Super Quantum White Layer. I know this card's fairly new, but the reason why I like this card is because my favorite Power Ranger, surprise, was Tommy from the original Mighty Morphin. But my favorite version of his suits was the White Ranger costume from the old 90s movie. And this Super Quantum White Layer very much has that vibe. It's, you know, the Super Quantums are, and here's the cool thing about the Super Quantums, is they actually are like what the Power Ranger suits should have been. They're more like, they're supposed to be represented like armor, not spandex. So I thoroughly enjoyed that. It's Vampire Hunter. And let's face it, a vampire that hunts other vampires. That's kind of cool to me. And he's based off of various different kinds of Vampire Hunter characters, so, which I don't have time to go into the lore, but he's a really cool artwork. I used to tech this card in some of my older decks when dark decks were in high supply, but that's just because I wanted to be able to say, ha! I got a card to fight your dark monster that gets in my way, like Darklaw, for example. Apolloza, Bow of the Goddess. This card is Very powerful, highly sought after, but I like it mostly just for its artwork. Its negation effect is very powerful. There's no disputing that, but this is artwork, guys. So obviously some of the cards in this list are not going to be all that great, but as cards go anyway. But their artwork is going to be spot on amazing, and this card has it in spades. I mean, we have the female rider. By the way, I'm looking at it on the screen. Riding a polar bear monster, and then like having this like magic bow, and she's just looking like she's ready to shoot at something. I don't know what, but I don't want to be on the other end of that bow and arrow. That's all I'm saying. Unbreakable Spirit. Unbreakable Spirit is a card that basically you flip it, you target one of your monsters, and then your monster permanently, for at least for the remainder of that turn, gains the attack power of the weakest monster on your opponent's side of the field. Now you guys are looking at it like, okay, that's not a great effect. It's not a great effect, but the artwork is really cool. It has 3 knights basically fighting 3 dragons, and one knight is about to get eaten, the other knight's hiding behind a rock, but then there's one brave knight who's got his sword at the ready, and he's just ready to take down this big-ass dragon, and I'm like, looking at that artwork, and I know that everyone else is like, you know, like me, is probably thinking, dude, that guy is so boned. I wish for the artwork, as good as it was I'd have had a better effect. Ultimate Conductor Tyranno. I know, my fellow dinosaur players, I know you're like, what? That should be number 1. You're a dinosaur guy. I know. But the thing is, it's a great artwork. I mean, let's face it, this they put a lot of work into this dinosaur. Alright, they put more work into this guy's artwork than I think they've done in most dinosaur monsters. Especially dinosaur boss monsters. Like, the backgrounds in those artworks are meh. This thing has an erupting volcanoes and the ground breaking underneath his big ass claws. I mean, I don't know about you, but if I ever ran into this dude in the jungle, I'm gonna run and hope I'm faster than lightning, cause damn. And if any of y'all were around me, you guys would wonder who that chick was that was screaming in the distance. Because it would be me. Now you're wondering why would it be in the distance? Because you guys would just be standing there and I'd be gone. There'd be a puff of smoke where I was standing if I ran into that thing. Athena. Now some of you guys are like, Athena? Yes, that one actually has a little more closer to home. And the reason why Athena is number 9 on the list is because, or number 2 on the list, excuse me, I speak English, guys. Is because she is, I mean, her effect isn't all that great, but she is one of the card representations of the goddess Athena, which, guys, if you don't know, I'm a Wiccan, so I'm wearing a pagan symbol around my neck. A lot of people, you guys, don't know that, but yeah. So that's why the whole Athena thing comes really nice and close to me, because it's just kind of like having one of the deities that you follow has a card form, and it's just, you know, it's a little close to home right here. And I really like that. So, and they did justice really well with, you know, her artwork, especially in this card. I mean, there's other versions of Athena in the card game, believe it or not, but this one is the best one. And, you know, it has the shield. I mean, the only thing that could have made this better is if they included her owl, and that would have been grade A. But they got her spear, they got her shield, they got her, you know, her helmet, and it's just, the artwork is grade A. Now, before we get into the number 1 card art I enjoy the most out of all these cards, you're gonna have to deal with a honorable mentions montage. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Aha! You survived the montage! You're still here. Great. So the last card, and the number 1 card that really is my favorite artwork in all of Yu-Gi-Oh! Is Blaster, Dragon Ruler of Infernos. That's right. That's right. I know. A Dragon Ruler? Yes. I know a lot of you guys are like that. But Blaster has been my favorite card since it came out. I have always wanted a Fire Dragon archetype. And the truth is, even though there isn't one, still, Konami, get on that. And I don't mean archetypes that are fire that have dragons. I want a specifically fire dragon archetype where it's just fire attribute dragons. That's what I want. That would be a dream archetype for me. I don't think Konami will ever make it, but if they ever do, I will be thrilled. But yes, so And Blaster should come back for that, just saying. Blaster's my favorite one. I mean, he's a fiery dragon. He's useful. He's powerful. I mean, Dragon Wars were my thing, and I'm happy to have Tempest back. Don't get me wrong, guys. But Dragunity players, please don't strangle me when I say this. But if I could trade Tempest for Blaster, I would. Sorry. All right, guys. So as requested, that was my top 10 Yu-Gi-Oh card arts. Let me know what you guys' favorite card arts are in the comments below. Also, guys, real quick before we get out of here, I want to remind you that I am still in a race with Yusei YGO Pro, and the race is to 500 subs. The winner gets to put a video on the other guy's channel. So I want to put a video on his channel so I can be seen by his subscribers. So please do me a favor, guys. Get me to that 500 mark so I can be thrown over there. So I can go say hi to his audience. It'd be greatly appreciated. It's going to help me win that race. And yeah. Anyway, guys, I'm Bit2000YGO. I'm your friendly neighborhood Yu-Gi-Oh superhero, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace!